I am ready. Why don't you go ahead and lead the meeting?
Okay, Johnny,
Options.
you ready? Okay, please rise with me and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, welcome everybody to the Board of Commissioners meeting for August 4th. It is about 9:35 or so. And do we have any citizen comments? Oh, here we go. Take more.
Good morning.
Good
Morning, Dick.
This is back to an issue that I was talking to John about the last meeting, about the signs down at Bassendorf.
I checked. Go ahead.
What'd you find there?
I find that the signage that we have is very consistent with the signage that the BLM has on their campground. In terms of, I can't remember what the wording is. You had some concern,
Day use only.
day use only, and
Why? I mean, that,
no, you had some concern about, I can't remember what it was, but whatever we have is consistent with what they have, and I don't think it's day use only. It's no.
says day use only.
Oh, okay, that's what it says. They both say that. Both BLM signs and our signs, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Well, the BLM done it because of the transits out there.
right, exactly.
All right. This is a county road,
Yeah,
state beat, and you're regulating the people not to be able to go out there at nighttime.
right. No, we're regulating people not to be camping there, parking their cars, and spending the nighttime on the shoulder of the road.
Well, before these signs, I told you they put up the signs after the deputy sheriff said I couldn't be there after dark. And then you put up signs that says, no overnight camping and no overnight parking. And you said them wouldn't be taken down. And then they got taken down and these signs went up.
Yes, because they're consistent with what the BLM has. I didn't know the signs were changed, Dick, but I don't think I'm gonna have them changed because they're consistent. You can go out there. If you're not camping, no one's gonna bother you.
No, I'm not camping overnight, but if I go out there and walk on the, park there and walk on the beach at night, am I gonna get a ticket?
No.
Then the sign shouldn't be up there. And just like State Park.
Dick, it's
said-
not gonna be changed.
Like State Park.
I'm not gonna
said-
change the sign. This costs money unnecessarily.
State Park says that down there where Oceanside is, they can't put signs up because that's private property but they could enter that beach all time, 24 hours a day. But you're putting up signs that says day use only, so people look at that and they won't go out there at night, to walk that beach at night or sit out there and talk and stuff. Them signs need to be taken down and put up there, no overnight camping or parking.
What's this unstuff?
Huh?
Describe unstuff.
I think
I'm
gonna
kidding
order-
you. All right.
Now, I'm gonna go to one step further on, cause I've brought it up before, to John Rowe, and I talked to Melissa afterwards. And that is, can the county parks people use a county rig for their personal use to go down to the store on their break time? And get their stuff and drive back to the camp, back up to the campground.
Okay. Anything else, Dick?
Well, the county says that, can't use a vehicle for your personal use.
I think John's gonna look into that.
Okay?
Do you have anything else?
Well, one of the county guys up there said that the BLM put them signs up, and he wouldn't argue with me.
Okay.
But
Oh, okay.
John will find out.
I think that people should know, and this should have been brought up in a meeting or discussion before that sign ever went up.
Okay. Thank you. Phil Thompson.
May I save mine to comment on item 3 on the agenda?
Which is that?
The,
Oh, the
Lodging
ballot,
tax.
the ballot for 4A you're talking about?
3A.
Or 3A? That's next anyway. Okay, we will hold you until then. All right, done with citizen comments. Public hearings, 3A, ordinance imposing a 9.5% tax on short-term lodging, transient lodging in the Charleston area. County Council.
This public hearing has been set for the purpose of adopting ordinance 2704L after a public hearing and the ordinance second reading. The first reading of this ordinance occurred on July 21st, 2020. Notice of this hearing was published in the World newspaper on July 14th, 2020, and posted in accordance with ORS 203.045. Ordinance 2704L would impose a 9.5 tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area. If approved, the ordinance would not be effective unless approved by the voters in the November 2020 election. This ordinance also creates a new Division 3 to Article 12 of the Coos County Code, setting forth the essentials of the proposed tax. There were two minor changes after the first reading, just two typos we fixed, but we are required by law to read those in full. The first one was to the heading of Exhibit A. We actually had Division 3 there. We've changed that to Division 4 as it should be. And the other change was in Section 4 where we admitted the word division before the word for. So that was changed also, but those changes in no way affect the ordinance.
Okay, so we have a reading of the ordinance 2007-004L by title. This is short.
Would you like me to do that, Bob?
Please, John.
Okay, ordinance 20-07-004L, an ordinance of Coos County imposing a 9.5% transient lodging tax in the Charleston area and amending the county code to add Article 12, Division 3, imposing the tax.
Thank you. At this time, we will take public comment, and I assume Mr. Thompson wants to talk.
I'm not far enough to pull this mask down. Phil Thompson, Coos Bay. Last meeting we had, I talked about this. Is the Bassendorf Beach County Park involved in this, or are we going to include that in the Charleston area?
At this point, it is included.
It is included.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, may I ask why we don't have this on here if the public is going to vote on it? And that's great. But since they've already voted no on taxes for the park, I think to be fair and honest too, it should say including Bassendorf Beach State County Park. This guys, I'd take it off till you got this straightened out, because that's sort of not fair to the voters. And where does all this area of the Charleston area go? Where's the boundary line?
Well, roughly.
Right here, on the back of this. I
Right
can
here.
show you. Whoops, then look very,
It starts roughly at the Coos Bay city limits on the Charleston Highway
Yeah.
and goes south, includes all of Charleston, all of South Slough, all of the beach, Bassendorf Beach, etc., includes Lighthouse Way,
don't, yeah.
all of that. There's a line here where it delineates what it encompasses.
Here you are. There's the red line, you can see it on this one.
It's hard to see in this black and white copy.
Can I have this, or do you have to have?
That's part of the ordinance.
Okay.
We can get you one though.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I only got one other little question. I know when we come up, and I've got a habit of saying "they said" and all of that too. So, but we never explain who they are when we make a comment like this. Now you say the Charleston business people and so forth approached the county. The county didn't do that. I've got no objections with them approaching the county, but who are they? Are they the owners of the short-term, say I won't call them motels or rooms they're renting? Are they the people that's asking you to do this, or are they the people that don't own them?
Quite a few of them were owners of the RV parks. The brand new one
Yes.
is just south of Coos Bay.
Yeah.
That lady was here, she's the manager
Yeah.
for this large company across the western United States, as I recall. She was there, other RV park owners were there, as well as motel owners were at some of these meetings. The general public generally was not there. There was, I believe, some chamber folks from the Charleston Chamber
And the Merchants Association.
and the Charleston Merchants Association folks too.
Well,
They were the ones that approached the county.
since the county people's gonna get to vote on this,
Mhm.
I would make sure that it put in plain that we're including a county park, Bassendorf. If you don't, then you're not informing citizens of what you're doing. And I would like to comment, this lady, I think you got a beautiful park down there. It's really nice. So, if they wanna charge themselves, that's fine. That's just like, the golf course and stuff.
Mhm.
They elected to do that, to pay like that for leave the little guys alone. But I still say that the county park should stay off limits. That's my own comment, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Anybody else want to comment on ordinance 20-07-004L?
Janice Longley, I'm a resident of Coos Bay, but also the executive director of the Coos Bay North Bend Visitor and Convention Bureau. The reason that we are supportive of this ordinance and the ballot measure is because of two things. One, the Merchants Association did approach the county commissioners for this tax because they need a brand-new visitor information center. The one that they currently have is in an old laundromat, is about the size of that table right there, and is hard to see, and is not welcoming to the visitors. And Charleston is one of our jewels in our county. It's where a lot of our visitors come. They may stay in Coos Bay, they may stay in North Bend, they may stay in Bandon, but they are going out to Charleston, and we want them to be as welcomed as possible. And when they do stay out there, Charleston is one of the only places in our state, other than some other rural unincorporated areas, that does not charge a local lodging tax. And visitors, travelers who do it on a fairly regular basis are used to paying a tax. So it's not like this would be detrimental to anyone coming. They look at a room rate or an RV spot rate or a tent campsite rate. They're not looking at what the tax implications are. The second thing that these funds will be used for is to help us promote our area even more. And now that we are being adversely affected so strongly by this pandemic, those funds would be helpful in recovery of our area as a tourism destination for Oregonians as well as those who come from far and away. So those are the reasons. On top of that, the county does get to keep 30% of the tax collected for things like code enforcement and public safety, which are extremely important to all of our county, but especially those rural areas that are unincorporated.
Mhm. I might note that you probably want to thank John Rowe, who's sitting in the back there, our Public Works Director, that he was the one that spearheaded the new sidewalks and street lights and paving and all that.
In Charleston,
In
and it's
downtown
phenomenal.
Charleston, yeah. That's
And
really made it look much nicer.
it has. It really has. And having a visitor information center by all of those improvements will also help to welcome folks into the area. And we understand the issue with the county park. It's one of those areas, though, that could generate quite a bit of income for the county as well as for Charleston to have a good visitor center.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else want to comment on ordinance 20-07-004L? No one? No burning desires? All righty. The Board of Commissioners needs to adopt ordinance 20-07-004L imposing a 9.5% tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area. Do I have a motion for that, or do I need one? I need a motion.
I do appreciate Phil's comments, but nonetheless, I do move that the Board of Commissioners adopt ordinance 20-07-004L, imposing a 9.5% tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion among the board? Melissa? Commissioner Cribbins?
No, I appreciate the work that everybody's getting this ready. And when merchants and local business people approach us and ask us specifically if they should take action on this, I think it's important that we're responsive and do that, put it out to the voters to decide. So, thank you.
Okay, John?
No comments.
Okay. None for me. Hearing no other. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. 3B, ordinance promulgating rules and regulations to enforce and collect the proposed tax on short-term lodging, transit lodging in the Charleston area.
All right, this public hearing has been set for the purpose of adopting ordinance 2705L after a public hearing and the ordinance's second reading. The first reading of this ordinance occurred on July 21st, 2020. Notice of the hearing was published in the World newspaper on July 14th, 2020, and posted in accordance with ORS 203.045. Ordinance 2705L would create rules for enforcing and collecting the tax on short-term lodging imposed by ordinance 200704L. This ordinance creates processes for distributing forms, imposing late fees, and hearing appeals related to the proposed tax. These rules are modeled off the rules currently in place for the administration of our marijuana item tax. If adopted, the ordinance will become effective on January 1st, 2021, if ordinance 2704L imposing the proposed tax is approved by voters in the November 2020 election.
Okay, so Commissioner Sweet, would you read the title, please?
Submit, as soon as I find it.
Oh, you went by it.
Where'd it go?
You went by it.
Sorry.
There you
Oh,
go.
here we are. All right. Ordinance 20-07-005L in the matter of amending the Coos County Code to promulgate rules and regulations to enforce and collect the Charleston area transient lodging tax.
Thank you. Public comment on the collection of the tax on distributing the forms, imposing late fees, and hearing appeals related to the proposed tax. Anybody want to comment about that? Seeing none. We need to adopt an ordinance 2007-005L promulgating rules and regulations to enforce and collect the proposed tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area. Do I have a motion?
I move the Board of Commissioners adopt ordinance 20-07-005L promulgating rules and regulations to enforce and collect the proposed tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion amongst the board. Commissioner Cribbins?
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Commissioner Sweet?
Nothing?
Nothing from me. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I was an aye also, I'm sorry. All right, thank you. Moving on to 4A, request approval of order approving ballot title and explanatory statement for ordinance 20-07-004L. Council.
Yep, ordinance 2704L would impose a 9.5% tax on short-term lodging in the Charleston area. If approved, the ordinance would not be effective unless approved by the voters in the November 2020 election. This order would approve the ballot title and explanatory statement to be printed in the Oregon State Voters Pamphlet.
Okay, so I need to have the board approve the ballot title.
I move we approve the ballot title.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Takes her a while to get off mute. Okay, all in favor of the ballot, approving the ballot title?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
And secondly, I need to have the board approve explanatory statement to be printed in the Oregon State Voters Pamphlet.
I move we approve the explanatory statement to be printed in the Oregon State Voters Pamphlet.
Do a second?
Question, really quick.
Okay,
Order 20-07-0401,
correct.
which includes the explanatory statement and the ballot title?
Yes,
Or do we need to make sure that we include that in our motion?
Oh,
I would think so. Do you
All
wanna
right.
amend your motion? Mr.
I amend the
Mr.
motion
Sweet?
to include the ordinance number 20-07 dash,
Order.
order number, yeah, I'm sorry, where are we? Order number,
It's
order 20-07-040L.
Okay, now do I have a second on that?
Yes, I will second.
Okay, any discussion amongst the board? Commissioner Cribbins,
None.
Commissioner Sweet?
No, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, thank you. All right, 4B, request approval of contract with Youth ERA Coos Health and Wellness. Are they on the phone?
Yep. Yes.
Michael, you're
fine.
there? Okay.
I'm requesting approval for the Youth Era contract, which is part of our obligation for advanced health in our new contract. This one actually retros back to January 2020.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move we approve the contract with Youth Era and authorize the board to sign in the amount of $229,869 for services provided at the DROP Youth Drop-In Center located in Coos Bay, retroactive to January 2020.
Do I have a second?
I will second, but I
Okay.
have to ask, isn't the Youth Era Drop Center actually in North Bend?
You're right.
You're right.
Uh-huh, okay.
Modify the agreement to North Bend, or the motion to replace City of Coos Bay with North Bend.
Do I have a second on that part?
Sure.
Good catch.
Sure,
Okay.
of course.
Any discussion about this? Commissioner Cribbins?
I have another question. Have they been able to be open, or are they open again now in light of the COVID-19 restrictions?
Yes, and we received a recent report on their activities of how they're doing.
Good, and you must be satisfied with what you received.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Melissa?
None from me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Commissioner Sweet?
No, none.
None from me either. All approved?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. 4C, request approval of job description and reclassification of a position for Coos Health and Wellness. Mike?
Yes, so recently we have eliminated a managerial position, and some of these duties are being shifted over to the finance section, and so we are requesting that this person be removed from the union, take on some supervisory duties, and be set at step 2 at the new pay grade.
Motion to that effect?
I move we approve the job description for the accounting supervisor position and approve reclassification of position and Dawn Broughton to pay grade 784, step 2.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
None.
Commissioner Crubens, discussion?
I'll just mention, I got an email from Caroline about this morning. This is part of the restructuring that's happened at Coos Health and Wellness. And, Don has taken on additional responsibilities, hence the reclass. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Nope.
Commissioner Sweet? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. 4D, oh, wait a minute. Michael, let's go to 6A, late agenda. Request approval to declare vehicles as surplus.
Okay, so we had discovered after we upgraded all of our vehicles that part of the reason why we didn't have enough vehicles is because people were unwilling to drive the older vehicles. So we found we have an excess that we would like to get rid of,
Okay,
declare. Yeah.
declare surplus, okay. Do I have a
Yep.
motion?
I move we declare 3 vehicles owned by Coos Health and Wellness as surplus property and approve online advertising as the method of sale. Do I have to go read all of that?
No, I wouldn't think so.
I think so. I think not.
Do I have a second, Commissioner Crubens?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, any discussion?
Thanks for checking on this, Mike, and getting rid of unneeded vehicles.
Commissioner Crubens?
Yep.
Those look like actually pretty nice vehicles. So
Yeah.
good
they
opportunity
are.
for someone.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. At this point,
you.
Community Corrections would like to present their items because they have other commitments later on in the morning. So let's go to 6D, request approval of contract amendment with ADAPT.
We are requesting Second Amendment treatment services through ADAPT Community Corrections. This contract provides alcohol, outpatient drug and alcohol treatment services to offenders on parole and probation. It's a $90,000 cost, and we also provide alcohol and drug treatment in the jail under our JRI grant, which is another $14,000. We are requesting approval of all.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So are these 2?
There's 3 of them, actually, 6D, E, and F. Different ones, but this is for the contract for alcohol and drug treatment, 6D.
I'm happy
Okay.
to make the motion.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I move to approve the Second Amendment to treatment services through ADAPT for community corrections clients from July 1, 2020 until June 30th, 2021.
Do I have a
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Moving on to 6E, request approval of contract amendment with Bay Area First Step.
Yes, this agreement pays for 13 clean and sober beds at Bay Area First Step in the amount of $102,960. Each bed is $660 per month. The agreement is from July 1, 2020 to 6/30, 2021.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move approval of Third
I
Amendment
move
to
to
let...
approve, oh,
Go ahead, Melissa.
John, go.
Okay, I
Yep,
move
you
approval
got
of Third
it.
Amendment of the letter of agreement between Bay Area First Step and Coos County Community Corrections for 13 beds in the amount of $102,960.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Moving on to 6F, request approval of revised job description, advertised and fill position for community corrections.
This position is vacant due to an employee being promoted to an administrative A2. We have worked with HR to so we are requesting approval of the changes of the position description and approval to advertise and fill the community corrections secretary two position.
Okay. do I
Your
have a
turn,
motion?
Melissa.
Do I have a motion?
Okay, I'm sure, I move to approve the changes to the correction, to the secretary description and approve advertising and filling that position.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alrighty,
Aye.
thank you. Now let's go back to 4D, request approval of amended
Thanks, Kelly.
contract agreement for coronavirus relief funds and authorized chair to sign finance. Megan?
So this is an amended agreement to include the full total of what the state is offering us for coronavirus relief funds. The first grant agreement was kind of rushed through for that first round of funding. And so they are amending it for the total amount of $2,728,587.91.
No, it's up. Okay, do I have a motion?
I move we approve and authorize chair to sign amended and restated grant agreement number 1006 with the Oregon Department of Administrative Services.
Do I have a second?
Second, yeah.
Okay, discussion. Mr. Sweet?
Good going.
Okay.
Nice to get this money back.
Mr. Cribbins, any comments?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Alrighty, do I have a motion for consent calendar?
I move we approve the consent calendar.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, moving on to 6B, request approval of Ride's job description, post, advertise, and fill for road department. John?
Good morning.
Morning, John.
Yeah, we'd like to post and fill as a maintenance worker 6 to access foreman. This was a management job. We want to take it down to a union position where we can better utilize this person, especially when the permitting slows down at certain times of the year. It's about a $3 an hour savings
Mhm.
for us to do this. What we're gonna do up at solid waste, because the previous position was up, taken care of up there. Clint will do the DEQ inspections. Robert will do the DEQ reporting, and then Jessica will oversee those activities. So we'll cover that base with this. It's just gonna help us out
I
throughout the
know.
year, that we can take this person and utilize them on the road crew also.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve the new job description and pay grade for the maintenance worker 6 access foreman position. Approve to post and advertise and fill.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? John?
No?
Commissioner Cribbins?
Not from me, sir.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. 6C, request approval to declare equipment as surplus for parks. John?
The other park would like to auction, I got a whole list here, a Rhino mower attachment, 1990 250 Ford Super Cab, a skid steer, and 2 Toro zero-turn riding mowers, and a John Deere riding lawnmower.
Do I have a motion?
I move we approve disposal of all equipment listed.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
John, could you remind people of where we sell this stuff? Because we've had some pretty good items that we surplus today. And I'm not sure everybody knows how to access that if they wanted to buy them.
Usually on surplus.com, you can get online, you get on that and just look up Coos County. For Oregon, you can pick the state, Oregon, and then pick what county you're looking at, it'll be listed there.
So surplus.com,
surplus.com.
okay. And then Oregon, then Coos. Okay. All right, thank you. All in
Do
favor?
we have a link on our, or something where people,
Could you restate, Commissioner Cribbins? It was broken up.
it's all right. I asked if we have a link on our website or anything to find that.
You know, I'm not sure, but I'll ask Dave about that. I don't think we do, but they can call. That might be a good idea to do that.
All right, thanks.
Any other discussion?
Thanks.
Nope.
Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
All righty. 6G, request approval of resolutions for working out of class county forestry. Good morning.
Morning, Kathy.
So we are requesting the Board of Commissioners approve working out of class resolution 20-07-150P for forestry employee Seamus Smith, effective July 1st of 2020. Seamus has been temporarily performing duties more closely related to management of the county forest. Pay grade 424 is the duties of forestry operations foreman, which more closely resembles the task that Seamus has been asked to perform.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Kathy, do we have an ending date to this, or just whenever Lance is,
When Lance returns.
when Lance
Yeah,
returns?
when he's no longer actually doing those extra
I need
duties.
a motion first.
Should that be part of the motion? I was going to,
Actually, I think it does say
Does
that
it?
in the
Yeah.
resolution itself.
is in the resolution? Okay, I'm sorry.
Shall return.
There we are. All right. I move we approve resolution
honey.
20-07-150P, approving for Seamus Smith working out of class.
Do I have a second?
I will second.
Any discussion about this? On the, and you stated the resolution, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're good as far as to what it says here about
Return.
when the forester comes back to work.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, 6H, request approval of change order number 4 and 5 for Doris Sitcom Rural Fire Protection District Vehicle Garage Project. Authorized chair to sign, council.
Yeah, we're asking for, or requesting the board to sign change orders number 4 and number 5. Change order number 4 adds a keypad lock set that helps secure the building better, a flammable storage cabinet, an eye wash station, and a 5 horsepower compressor. Change order number 5 adds hose racks, a parking sign, and other modifications to the Bullard location.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move we approve and authorize the board to sign change orders number 4 and 5 for the Doris Sitcom Rural Fire Protection District Vehicle Garage Project in the amount of $8,555.11.
Okay, do I have
I will second.
a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. 6I, request approval of order to initiate accelerated redemption period on tax foreclosed property.
Okay, we're requesting the Board of Commissioners to consider directing our office to initiate the process to accelerate the redemption period for the property known as tax account 4008002, which is located at 191 East Street in Coos Bay. And we have some pictures here of the property to show its condition.
Hmm,
I'm just adding some stuff from the city of Coos Bay.
lovely. Looks like my old house. My goodness. Commissioner Sweet?
Thank you.
Apparently from the city of Coos Bay, they're having some issues with people being there with different vehicles, et cetera. Is that correct?
So, the city of Bisbee has observed that they're already gone, but they did dispose of the waste on site.
Mm-hmm.
There's furniture on the property. I think, Desiree's pictures are much more informative, because the city took them from the street view, they didn't have access to that property. But they've had quite a few issues with these properties since 2018. And so they're all on board, moving forward with taking the property if, in early redemption, if the board finds that that's the path they want to take.
Okay, somebody apparently cut the grass in the front yard. Oh, okay. It looks better the farther away you get. Commissioner Sweet, here's some more pictures.
Was a nice house at one time.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay,
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move we determine that the property listed may be subject to waste or abandonment, and approve order 20-08-043L, initiating accelerated redemption procedures.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Okay, discussion. Commissioner Cribbins?
Nothing from me.
Okay. Commissioner Sweet?
No?
None from me either. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay. Do we, I think we do, I have one. Do we have any late agenda items?
I'd like to ask for approval to consider a late agenda item
Okay.
relating to the City of Lakeside's proposed use of county roads within the city.
First of all, we need approval to do late
Well,
agenda.
I've explained what it was for. and
Yeah,
then-
okay.
Anyway,
I
that's-
also have one. So I need a motion to have a late agenda items.
Oh, I move we approve
I move to add
consideration
two
of late.
late ones.
Oh, go ahead. We had two motions.
There's quite a delay between.
Sorry. I said, I
Let's-
know, and I'm on satellite internet, which I move to add two late agenda items.
Second.
Okay, all right. Okay, first late agenda item, Commissioner Sweet. Oh.
You
all
have
in
to
favor?
vote.
Yeah,
You have to vote.
yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks.
First one.
There's quite a delay, Commissioner Cribbins, in your response over the phone and whatever else. There's about 2-3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds.
Okay.
Commissioner Sweet, late agenda item.
The City of Lakeside is proposing a trial period starting as soon as possible and ending December 31 of this year, during which time, excuse me. How did I shut that off? I'll call you back. I apologize. City of Lakeside is proposing a trial period starting as soon as possible and ending December 31 of this year, during which time ATVs will be allowed to run on the county roads within the city, and some of the city streets, I believe, as well. I move that we write a letter to the City of Lakeside, agreeing to let the trial period go on with the following conditions. One, that they get permission from the state of Oregon to do the same, because they're involved. Two, that they would not expect nor receive any extra Coos County Road Department maintenance on the county roads within the city caused by the ATVs. Nor three, would they expect any additional patrol from our sheriff's department up there above and beyond what they currently get to monitor and police the activities of the ATV riders. And four, that they not move beyond the trial period into approving this activity of the sheriff's department and the county. That's the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second.
Discussion. Mr. Moore?
Yeah, you should, I'm against it, but you should include that them vehicles, everybody has to have insurance, and there should be street signals, brake lights, windshield. If they're gonna run them on the public street.
That's part of the city's ordinance.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and it would, that's a requirement anyway by the state.
That's state law.
Yeah,
That's a requirement.
yeah.
And I do believe that's in the city ordinance too that's coming up.
It's my understanding that this will also go to a vote of the residents.
I believe that to be the case.
Yes, this
Yes.
fall.
It wouldn't go beyond the trial period without a vote
Correct,
and approval from the residents.
that's correct.
I just wanted to.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
There's just a trial period. Then it will be voted on in the November election. And that will determine its fate, whether it goes on or not. Any other discussion? Commissioner Cribbins?
No, nothing from me. Thank you.
Commissioner Sweet?
Nothing more.
Anybody in the audience? I do have one thing I want to bring up, is that on Facebook, I read this, I believe this lady from Lakeside took a photograph of the county budget for Dunes Patrol. And made, I think, don't quote me now, a comment about there would be adequate deputies for going from Lakeside out to the dunes and back. What this person doesn't realize is that that line item is for those deputies, is paid for by the U.S. Forest Service to patrol the Oregon Dunes National Park, not for anything else. Okay? They patrol only out in the dunes, and that's what the grant by the U.S. Forest Service is for. Isn't for patrolling anywhere else, just to make that clear. Okay? Okay, so,
If you'd like, I can add that to the letter. I've
no,
already
I
made
don't
it
think
clear
so,
to the city
because
manager.
it was just a misconception. They didn't know
Mhm.
in the budget what the restrictions were for that particular budget item for the dunes. So with that, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, passed. Commissioner Cribbins, you have some late?
I do not.
Okay, I have one.
You did.
I was approached by Douglas County to form this coalition for Douglas, Coos, Klamath, Polk, and Tillamook counties, and other counties to be added at a later date for the Oregon Timber Coalition, Counties Coalition. It would be to lobby concerning U.S. Forest Service properties within each county in Washington, D.C. There would be a cost to Coos County of $15,000 for the first year. And since we no longer have or we disbanded, I guess, the federal
Land
land
subcommittee of the,
subcommittee for AOC and some others, that they thought this coalition would be appropriate. Any discussion, Commissioner Sweet?
you know, I'd like really to learn more about it, Bob, see some of the official writings. I don't know what the implications for AOC are right off the top of my head.
Well, this would be not including AOC.
It would not be
away from
including, yeah,
AOC,
but there undoubtedly will be some implications. I don't
Sort of
know
like
whether,
ONC is
whether
not
we
part of
expect them to
AOC.
represent this or not. A lot of questions. I like the concept. It's probably less important to us than some of the others in that we don't have a lot of Forest Service lands
And we
and
have the dunes, and then we have down by Powers.
we have
That's
those,
it.
yeah.
We don't have a lot, though, like some of the others.
But I think it's appropriate to do this, and I just like to know more about the particulars, so I'm willing to say, let's
You want
approve the concept, but wait until we know more particulars
Till
to,
next meeting? In
yeah,
2
if
weeks?
that's okay,
Maybe you could call Commissioner Freeman, I think, who's spearheading this.
Okay.
Talk to him,
all right,
as well as Commissioner Crivens.
all
Talk
right.
to Commissioner Freeman.
Well, maybe,
Okay.
do they have some paperwork spelling this out?
Just what, very little. It's just
Yeah,
what
I'd-
their purpose is, and that's about it.
I'd like to see that. I mean, that's all I really want to know, and
Okay.
if it's adequate, and we still are interested, fine. If it's not, and then we make changes before we just give a carte blanche decision that we're going to join.
Also, one of the things that bothered me, they had me as a signer, and I just assumed all three of us signed.
That bothers me too.
Especially the board chair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I'm teasing.
I know you are, but
Gosh.
I'd rather have all three of the
Yeah.
commissioners sign off on it. So we need a little more information and/or adjustments before.
Yeah,
we do
I
this.
think so. Is that, if that's okay, would you ask
Yeah, that's okay with
Tim
me,
to send that
sure.
over to
Mhm.
us? And
Yep.
okay, that would be
Mhm.
great.
Commissioner comments, Commissioner
Well, does
Crivens.
Mrs. have anything on this?
I
She may
don't
not
think
agree with
so.
me.
Maybe she does. You have any comments
I-
about this
No,
timber
I-
coalition?
Nope, no comments. Looking forward to hearing more about it
Okay, so
at our next meeting.
you have a commissioner report.
I just have a brief item that I want to bring up. I suppose it's a commissioner reports item. We have been working with Curry County and with the Association of Oregon Counties and the League of Oregon Cities to try to find funding for a housing coordinator, somebody that would take those housing needs analyses that we invested in with the cities. We did one, and Curry County did one, and we created a housing needs analysis that put out all the areas where we have housing shortages and how many units we're short. But then, like all good reports, there needs to be somebody to implement the results of that report. So we've been working with League of Oregon Cities, Association of Oregon Counties, and Curry County to go ahead and find funding for somebody to do that coordination. And we have a grant of $25,000 to help with the implementation. I believe that that we are looking at potential nonprofits that could do that work. But I just wanted to let you know, we have an intergovernmental agreement, and it looks like we need to go ahead and move forward on approving that IGA, and it's in the works. But I just wanted to give both of you a heads up so you knew where that project was at, because I know you've been aware of it, but you weren't necessarily aware of the fact that the IGA has now been produced, and
Okay.
looks like we could have funding by September 1st.
Oh, good. Thank you.
The funding would be 25,000?
Yeah, and different groups expressed with perhaps a bit more funding. There's a grant that to sorry. There's a lot of groups that are interested in housing right now, and trying to help with more funds. But it looks like maybe Umpqua Community Action would be willing to partner, have that position.
Okay.
And the other groups that are active in housing have been all part of this conversation too, of course. And so we're not inciting any action, and everybody's on board with the way it's moving forward.
Is there any financial liability to us?
No,
Or
not
expectation?
Really. We're passing through the funds.
Okay.
It was earlier the discussion was about, and I know you remember this, Commissioner Sweetman, probably where the questions come. Earlier there was a discussion about whether it would be a county employee and whether it would be a county employee or Curry County employee, but that doesn't really make sense. It makes more sense to keep it with one of the nonprofit subject matter experts.
Now, I have some concerns about the effectiveness of an organization like this, but housing is an issue. It doesn't cost us anything, certainly not against participating.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing us up to
We
date.
will do what we can to help with housing, which is how we all feel, I know. But strongly that, if there's any way we can help with housing, we want to.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. You have anything else, Commissioner Cribbins?
That's probably enough.
Okay, Commissioner Sweet.
Had a couple of guests here from Bend over the weekend. They came with my stepdaughter and her husband, and first time they'd been here on the Southern Oregon coast, and absolutely enjoyed it. Of course, they went down to the beach in Bandon, and the weather was so nice they actually sunbathed there. I lived here for 80 years. I've never known of anyone sunbathing on the beach in Bandon, but they were able to do that. But the highlight of the trip, the husband of the couple from Bend is a biking enthusiast. And he went out and used Melissa's bike trails Sunday morning. They were supposed to have left at 10, then at 2, then at 5. They got away from here at 6. He loved it out there. Said that those were the best bike trails he's ever been on. Whiskey Run, yes. And I make it a point to drive out there quite often, and the use this summer has been remarkable out there. So it is drawing people. When was I last there? A third of the cars were from out of state. So we're I don't know whether that's good or bad given the COVID virus, but I don't think anyone's getting sick out there riding the bikes. But it is a tourism draw. And I don't know how many of the 2/3 of the cars that were Oregon were from out of the area, based on conversations with people out there. I'm sure quite a few were. The other thing that's becoming a real draw in our area is kiteboarding at Whiskey Run Beach. A lot of cars parked down there. And of course, the cars have access to the beach there, so they can drive right out on the beach and set up their kites and head out in the ocean from there. So it's those two things seem to be gaining in popularity and drawing attention to our county as a place to come and have fun.
You see that on TV once in a while, the kiteboarding.
Yeah, it's hot down at Flores Lake in northern Curry County. If you ever go down there, drive out to Boyce Cope County Park and watch the kiteboarders there.
Now, that's totally different than the sailboat. Okay?
Not totally different, but it's wind powered.
Right,
But the kiteboarding is a little more exciting, and
yeah.
there's a couple of brothers that live there on the lake, and one in particular is recognized all over as being an excellent kiteboarder. And if you get to see him, he takes jumps. You know, he must be 30 feet up in the air at a time, and he comes right back down, and goes on his way. Doesn't crash. Remarkable. But anyways, it's another type of recreation that's becoming increasingly popular in our area, and that and the bike trail are kind of neat attractions, new stuff. That's all I have.
Okay. Amongst all of the Zoom meetings and different go-to meetings we've had,
We got
Commissioner-
Bob, you're having a
Commissioner-
catastrophe in a minute.
Commissioner Cribbins and I testified before the House and Ways and Means Committee about not closing the Shutter Creek Correctional Institute, as well as Representative McEwen and others. I got to wondering about this after testifying, so I went to the county clerk's office and looked up the deeds. Actually, I had Bobby go grab it for me, and she sent it to me. And on page 3, the state cannot sell, lease, whatever, that property at all. It has to remain as a correctional institute, or it goes back to the U.S. government. So maybe that will be an incentive. I sent that deed to Representative Leaf over in Douglas County and Senator Dallas Hurd, sent it to Senator Roblin, Representative McEwen, and Representative David Brock Smith, as well as the AOC attorney, Rob Bovet. Hopefully that will make its way to the legislative committee, who will maybe dissuaded from closing Shutter Creek, hopefully. On another note, I received a text or email, I forget what it was, from Chief Doc Slider of the Confederated Tribes in Coos, Laurumqua, and Siuslaw, wanting to do something about the water quality of the lake. So, along with Chief, I included the City of Lakeside, 10 Mile Lakes Basin Project, the 10 Mile Lake Homeowners Association, and the county to try and do something, and we're going to have a meeting here pretty soon, to try and do something about the water quality of 10 Mile Lakes. It hasn't been good for many years, and several groups have tried over the years to do something and have had very limited success. So hopefully, with all of these entities, we may be able to do something. And with that,
May I bring up one more thing?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I was not here, but according to reports that I have, the 4-H youth livestock auction went off very, very well, in spite of the fact that we did not have a county fair this year. And with your permission, I would write a letter to the auction committee thanking them for the extra mile they went to make sure that the auction was available to all the kids of
I think
Coos
that'd be
County.
great.
All right?
With
That would
that,
be great. Thank you.
okay. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Melissa.
Grab that one. Decides to go south.